Aries is like, no, we're not doing the glamour for glamour's sake anymore. Pisces will tolerate that image, but Aries wants proof. Like, you need to actually physically show up, be on the move, and be active inside your body. Okay, we're going to talk about your chart and what this transit that just ended. It was 14 years long, Neptune in Pisces. What does this mean for you? What is this the end of, and what is this the beginning of? So get out your chart. Where does 0 degrees Aries fall in your chart? What house? And we're going to be looking at that house. And also, just a word to celebrities and political figures. Hi, it's Neptune. We're not buying it anymore. And the veil's lifted. Unless you have proof in your life, please shut up. So this astrology of Neptune moving from Pisces, the fog, into Aries, you better have action that matches your words. That's why it's matching up to the collective right now, which is, we're seeing files exposed, celebrities en masse for the past decade or longer, speaking about issues that belong to working people when they've never worked a day in their life. Neptune in Pisces rules, idealism, glamour, spiritual bypass. So this idea of glamour and what we considered glamour for many years or decades too is failing us. It's being rebranded. And that means in your life as well as Aries is telling you how it wants this transition to happen for you. And then the house is telling you where it needs to happen. I use Placidus. I prefer it. Neptune entered Pisces in 2011. And was here for 14 years. Neptune represents, the fog, things that you can't quite see because there's a mist. That includes the front-facing personalities that are sort of covered by their PR machine. So let's go with some example charts. I tried to make them different. Okay, so the first chart example, I'm going to take you through the 14-year cycle experienced from their perspective. So for this person in 2011, when Pisces moved into Neptune, it was in this person's 10th house. So we ask ourselves, if it's in the 10th house, then what is Neptune fogging up? It's fogging up maybe this person's career aspirations. They have this sort of idea, floating ideas of what they need to do and what they like, but it's sort of flows in and out on a daily basis and they're not sure which one to pick. They also may have a tendency to think of that glamour means being seen and being loved by everybody. This is very like career front facing. Who am I to the world? And I want to say something about the 10th house here with Neptune making it foggy, that this person they may be the person that is supposed to be front facing and broadcasting, and that's their career. But the motivation is what we're talking about because it was in Pisces. And that was like, I just want glamour for glamour's sake. I just want the likes. Which I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, that's where it was. And so then Neptune transitioned over those 14 years into the 11th house. So we're going to talk about that. So when Neptune moved into this person's 11th house, then that began the fog machine on areas of community and belonging and wishes. So it's sort of like, for example, if friends have sort of diverged in their belief systems, or people have become too extreme, or this person has become too extreme, that would all sort of be in the mix. Also, who are my people? Who are my tribes? And this isn't one-to-one to relationships. This is one-to-many. So groups that look good or where they thought they fit in because of ideals or maybe even just similar history. Maybe they don't even believe in certain systems anymore together, but they have shared history that's so strong. So it's confusion about that and just not really knowing somebody's place within groups because there's too many questions, too much confusion around it. So this behavior kind of is usually like sampling different groups, which is exactly what you have to do if you have this in your chart in the 11th. And as I mentioned, I do use Placidus, so it's still in the 11th house for this person, Neptune. But what's changed is Aries. So now Aries is saying, you know who your community is. You've narrowed it down a lot, at least. You can actually be a leader in some of these groups if you're doing it because you really believe in the group and not just because, hi, look at me. I want to initiate something real and with the right people. Maybe I create my own group, my own community, and join in-person things. This is being much more daring, much more willing to say, here I am, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm taking action. So let's do the same sort of astrology autopsy to the second chart. Okay, so back to 2011, Neptune enters Pisces. It lands in this person's second house. So what is Neptune fogging up? Money, value, worth. So it could be in terms of delusion about, I'll pay off that loan and credit cards by in 3 months, or I can spend all that much because it'll all kind of work out. Like, I think it'll all kind of work out. This is also about survival, this house. So it's also like, if I have to be deluded for a period of time so I don't jump off a bridge, like, I'll be deluded. And then over the course of the years, it moved into the third house, which is Neptune was still in Pisces in the third house. So it's like, I'm sort of confused about how I communicate, how I learn, how I articulate. What's my way of doing that? And do I have to shapeshift for everybody? And I want to say, like, sometimes you do. I don't know. I'm not into this, like, no, always be your authentic self. Anyway, that's a sidebar. Now that Neptune is direct and in Aries for this person in their third house, this, it means you need to speak directly. Let go of sort of the circumventing, passive aggressive type of communication that you may do just because you were scared. Like, I get it. But this is the time to just, I'll have that blue one. I don't like that. I mean, in a diplomatic way. Okay, you can initiate conversations. Maybe you feel more confident in initiating conversations if this is now in your third house in Aries. Your ideas require the action, again, with the Aries. Look for where 0 degrees Aries is in your chart and look at if it transited a house and now is moving into another. You just look at that is the old era and this is the new era, which started on January 26th. So let me know.